Welcome to Pop History. This episode looks at the story behind some of the popular events from January 1981. Here we go. On January 4th, the Broadway production The Monster Revived, Frankenstein, based on Mary Shelley's novel Frankenstein, or The Modern Prometheus, debuted at the Palace Theater on Broadway. The show, the most expensive in Broadway history, cost over $2 million to produce. Unfortunately, the play received poor reviews and closed after only one performance. On January 9th, the single In the Air Tonight was released by the Genesis lead singer and drummer Phil Collins. The song is the lead single from his debut solo album, Face Value. The song became and remains one of Collins' best-known hits, made even more popular when it was used as part of the soundtrack for the debut episode for the hit TV series Miami Vice. It is best known for the drum break featured near the end of the song. An urban legend has arisen around In the Air Tonight, rumors speculating that the lyrics are based on a drowning in which Collins supposedly witnessed seeing someone close enough to save the victim, but that chose not to. According to Collins, this is not true, stating that the angry tone in the song came from the pain he felt as he wrote the song in the midst of his divorce. On January 12th, the primetime television soap opera Dynasty premiered on the ABC network. Seen by some as an imitation of its competitor, the hit show Dallas, the series boasted stars like Linda Evans, Pamela Sue Martin, and John Forsythe. Though seen as a flop after its first season, the show returned, adding Joan Collins to the cast, giving it a boost in ratings. Dynasty eventually ran for 9 seasons, rated the #1 television program in the United States during the 1983-1984 television season. The show became known for its featuring of middle-aged, powerful women as its main characters, as well as for high fashion, including the revival of the trend of padded shoulders in women's outfits. On January 14th, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration gave its approval for the sale of the first soft contact lenses designed for extended wear. These lenses were designed to be worn continuously, including overnight, and were approved for up to 7 consecutive nights of wear. Additionally, 2 brands of silicone hydrogel lenses were approved for up to 30 days of continuous wear. On January 15th, the police drama series Hill Street Blues made its debut on NBC. Airing at 10 p.m., the show followed the lives of the police officers from a fictitious precinct, at times giving the show a documentary feel. Its innovative style of filming close-ups and the use of multiple storylines helped set the standard for future television dramas. On January 18th, the recreational sport of base jumping, where parachutists leap from a lower altitude fixed object rather than from an airplane, was founded by Phil Smith and Phil Mayfield. Having previously leapt from an antenna, a bridge, and a cliff, this day the pair made their jump from the 72nd floor of the Texas Commerce Center in Houston, safely parachuting to the ground. On January 20th, former Hollywood actor and governor of California, Ronald Reagan, was sworn in as the 40th President of the United States. Almost 70, Reagan was, at the time, the oldest person to be sworn in to the nation's highest office. Reagan's vice president, World War II veteran and politician George H.W. Bush, was sworn in that day as well. For the first time in history, the inauguration was held on the west side of the U.S. Capitol building, facing the White House and the Washington Monument.
Nearly 500,000 spectators gathered at the National Mall to watch as the oath of office was administered by Supreme Court Chief Justice Warren E. Burger using a Reagan family Bible that had been given to the president by his mother. On that same day, January 20th, around the time of the commencement of the inaugural ceremonies, as Reagan began his inaugural address, Iran released the 52 Americans held captive by the government, ending the Iran hostage crisis. The release came 444 days after a group of militarized Iranian college students had attacked the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, capturing most of the embassy staff.
Throughout most of the crisis, President Jimmy Carter had unsuccessfully attempted to negotiate the hostages' release. Shortly after the 1980 presidential election, negotiations resumed, this time with the help of Algerian intermediaries. Part of the successful agreement included the freeing up of nearly $8 billion in frozen Iranian assets by the U.S. The agreement was signed by both parties the day before the inauguration, and it was just before his luncheon with Congress that Reagan was informed that the flight bringing the hostages home had cleared Iranian airspace. On the day of their release, Jimmy Carter flew to West Germany to meet with the Americans before they boarded their flight back to the U.S. At home, there were celebrations marking both the inauguration and the release of the hostages. Around the country, people posted signs marking the 444 days or wrapped trees in yellow ribbons, a symbol of solidarity with the hostages over the previous 14 months. National monuments like the Statue of Liberty were illuminated, while skyscrapers like the Empire State Building were lit up with red, white, and blue lights. On January 22nd, a photograph of a nude John Lennon cuddling and kissing his fully clothed wife Yoko Ono was published on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. The picture, by photographer Annie Leibovitz, was part of a tribute issue to Lennon, who had been gunned down only a month earlier. January 25th, the Oakland Raiders defeated the Philadelphia Eagles 27-10 in Super Bowl 15, held in the Louisiana Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. This was the third Super Bowl appearance for Oakland and the first for Philadelphia. During the regular season, the Eagles had defeated the Raiders 10-7 at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, making this game the first time a team avenged a regular season loss in the Super Bowl. This would also be the last season until 1994 that the Raiders would play for the city of Oakland. Quarterback Jim Plunkett was chosen as the Super Bowl MVP, completing 13 of 21 passes for 261 yards and 3 touchdowns. Linebacker Rod Martin was a standout on defense, intercepting Philadelphia quarterback Ron Jaworski's first pass of the game, setting up Oakland's first touchdown. Martin intercepted Jaworski 2 more times, setting a Super Bowl record with his 3 total interceptions. With their victory, the Raiders became the first wild-card team to win the championship. With the country still celebrating the end of the Iran hostage crisis, pre-game ceremonies honored the hostages with a large yellow bow 80 feet long and 30 feet wide adorning the outside of the Superdome. Yellow bows were also given out to fans. On January 31st, years after they had returned home, the first parade honoring veterans of the Vietnam War was held in Indianapolis, Indiana. Organized by the veterans themselves, the event took place nearly 10 years after the end of the decades-long conflict. Hundreds of vets, most of whom were greeted by angry protesters when they returned home, marched in the parade. That will close out our look at pop history from January 1981. Keep an eye out for our next episode, coming soon. For now, as always, thank you for watching and joining us in this stroll through our memories from 1981.